Aloha! This is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man, coming to you live once again from beautiful Hawaii here on the island of Oahu, bringing you, yes you, the best TV show reviews on the island of Oahu. And, well, you know, I'm a little late to the game for this review, but I had the privilege of seeing it this weekend, this TV show on Cartoon Network of all things, called Primal. And this was a animated series, a 5-episode series, again on Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, so the nighttime hour, for mature audiences, 14 and up, for children, or, are perfect for adults, actually, by creator, Genndy Tartakovsky. And for those who, incredibly enough, may not know him, he is the incredible creator and director of, of who made, pretty much, Cartoon Network the great thing that it was and possibly is today. I no longer watch it because his shows, Genndy Tartakovsky's shows, are few and far in between. But during the 90s, he was all the rage and he ruled Cartoon Network. Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Symbiotic Titan, and let us not forget the greatness of Samurai Jack, that just 2 years earlier, back in 2017, he finally, almost 10 years later, brought us the final concluding episode of Samurai Jack, season 5, where he finally defeats Aku. But I'm talking about his latest work, his latest show for Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, called Primal. And, well, without further ado, shock a thumbs up. It's good to see. I recommend it. Shock a thumbs down. It's bad to see. It's junk. I don't recommend it. And, Genndy Tartakovsky, almost always a shock a thumbs up. Actually, of all those series that I named, even Foster's Imaginary Friends, I loved. And that I felt was more of a little kidsy kind of a show. But hey, I ended up watching every single episode when Cartoon Network aired it originally. Primal is, again, a shock a thumbs up. But it is a almost non-speaking 5-episode, 22-minute per episode, so with commercials on Cartoon Network's Adult Swim, 30 minutes intervals. And it aired originally this October the 7th through the 11th. These 5-episode shows. And it only has the one season. Basically, it stars a caveman. It's set in the, in the primordial age, the prehistoric age. It stars a caveman who goes nameless throughout the show, but in show notes, if you want to read on Wikipedia, his name is Spear, and of course, probably because he uses and carries a spear to do his hunting for him and his family, and for self-defense. Within the very first few minutes of the first episode, we see his wife and child killed by dinosaurs while he is away, or just barely returning, unfortunately too late to protect his wife and his 2 sons from I believe a Tyrannosaurus Rex attack by 3 Tyrannosaurus Rexes. So his wife and children had no chance of surviving, and even if he had been there, most likely he might have been killed himself. But it is in his grief that he is mourning his wife and children, that he, almost takes his own life, but decides against it, seeking revenge on the dinosaurs that did this to his wife, tracks one down and is about ready to attack it when he discovers it is not the right dinosaur. It is a different color. It is actually a female dinosaur, and it has 2 young dinosaur children as well. And so he does not attack it. However, possibly the same, most likely the same Tyrannosaurus rexes that killed his wife and child, go ahead and actually find this dinosaur and are set then in the process of attacking and eating this female dinosaurs, this female Tyrannosaurus rexes, who is green, to distinguish from these red evil Tyrannosaurus rexes, her children. Thus, enraged and reminded of his own loss, he attacks and helps this female dinosaur kill and drive off these other Tyrannosaurus rexes, thus forging a bond with this Tyrannosaurus rex, which, oddly enough, is very, very interesting in itself. And throughout the rest of the shows, the other 4 episodes, they go about attempting, to survive together, work, train, hunt together, and go on various adventures. Everything from defending themselves from giant snakes to getting captured in the very final episode by a Planet of the Apes kind of scenario by intelligent primates, where they must battle to the death with them. So yes, this is a very, very intense and exciting action drama, from Genndy Tartakovsky, called Primal, that I'm sure that if you go to the Cartoon Network website, you'll probably be able to watch these former episodes. If not, you'll be able to order them on DVD, or find them streaming wherever they do the rest of the Cartoon Network shows. I'm not exactly sure. I checked YouTube, they're not there. Of course, Cartoon Network is very, very restrictive on its content to make sure that it doesn't get out, without their authorization. So, it's not like the old days. But definitely, however you can check it out. And again, I suggest going to their websites. I don't know how long they'll be up, but that's kind of where I went ahead and checked them out. And, and I'm glad I did. I had heard great things from this show and was very happy to see it. The animation style looks very basic and, somewhat kind of simple at first, but that only goes to enhance the beauty of the art and the cartooning and the drawing behind the characters with these lavish, colorful backgrounds. Throughout various scenarios. And they go through mountain ranges, forests, even frozen tundra as they come across some woolly mammoths in a very compelling, almost elephant graveyard-like story for one of the episodes. And it's interesting to show and see how this bond of friendship, of brotherhood, forms between 2 different beings, 2 different creatures, species that, have suffered the same loss, and in those basic terms come to understand, rely, and depend on one another for emotional support and also physical support as well, in protecting one another, as each has strengths and weaknesses that the other doesn't. Of course, the dinosaur being much stronger and faster, with natural weaponry, but the caveman's intelligence, cunning, and use of tools, his spear, to say the least, definitely gives him an advantage and helps out the dinosaur in times of need as well. So again, however you can see this, again, check out cartoonnetwork.com and see if it's still showing over there. 5 episodes, 22 minutes, less than 2 hours to check out a fascinating, riveting, well-told story. Again, without any dialogue, just listening, Spear the caveman grunts, the dinosaur called Fang in the show notes growls. But other than that, there's no dialogue. And it's interesting to see how these two non-verbally communicate with one another and come to some type of basic and even complex understanding of each other. And form a bond of friendship between the two, much more greater than, say, a man and his dog. If I had to maybe guesstimate on what I could compare this to, it would be if you had read the old 70s comic book from Marvel, Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur. This is kind of akin to that. But again, not saying that Genndy Tartakovsky had stolen anything from Marvel in this. This feels completely fresh and new, and is a very interesting take on, a dinosaur, caveman friendship, out of necessity for survival, team up, and definitely wonderful, as all of Genndy Tartakovsky's work truly is. I can't recommend this to you high enough or enough. It is a great show. A definite shock, a thumbs up. So go ahead and check it out if you have some downtime. You'll be able to cut through it in an afternoon. I did one evening, just again less than 2 hours for 5 episodes. I doubt that it will go into a season 2. Genndy doesn't usually do that kind of thing. Most of his stuff, except for Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, and Samurai Jack, have usually been 1 seasons, maybe 2. But again, I think, this is definitely a conclusive story in itself, and it ends, somewhat tragic, but it does end. So I don't think he'll take it to another level. But if he does, which could be possible and wouldn't be a bad thing, I'd love to see a season 2 of Primal. But again, that's up to him and Cartoon Network. All right. Thank you so much. This is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man, saying check out Primal, cartoonnetwork.com. Check out the episodes while they're still online. However you can, you won't be disappointed. All right. Thank you so much, and aloha.